Joining me now with reaction is former acting director of ICE, Tom Homan, along with resident fellow in law and policy at the Center for Immigration Studies, Andrew Arthur. Thank you both for joining us. Tom Homan, I want to start with you. You dedicate your life, decades to this. Explain to people the difference. If you come to a port of entry and claim asylum, that's different than going in between the port of entry and crossing illegally.
It is, and that's why I tried to explain to AOC during one of the hearings, that entering the country illegally is a crime. It's always been a crime. It's written out in Title 8 United States Code 1325. But what I've been saying about these so-called asylum seekers, I've been saying for years, Jason, that nearly 9 out of 10 don't get relief from U.S. courts because they either don't show up in court or they clearly don't qualify. Well, Syracuse University track just came out with a study. They've been doing a pilot of, they call it the rocket docket, family units. They've been tracking family units going to court. And guess what? It's worse than even I thought. 93% lost their case. Only 7% were found to have asylum. And what happens to that 93%, the hundreds of thousands of family units and others that don't qualify? ICE isn't even looking for them. I talked to people in ICE command. ICE has been told not to even look for them. As a matter of fact, they're out there looking for people who didn't show up in court, not to arrest them, not to detain them until they make sure they see a judge. They're told, don't arrest, don't detain, counsel them. Counsel them and tell them to show up in court. This is what my agency has become. It's no longer a law enforcement agency, and it's sad. It is very sad what happened to ICE.
Now, Arthur used to be an immigration judge. Explain to us, there are millions of people that either aren't showing up for their court hearings or their court hearing isn't out for years in advance. What are they supposed to do for jobs? They're not here legally. What are they supposed to do for jobs in healthcare and school and everything else? I mean, Democrats didn't really think that one through.
No, they didn't. And in fact, it's worse than that because a lot of these folks pay $7,000 to $8,000 to smugglers to bring them to the United States, but many of them, don't have that money. So they enter into agreements with the smugglers to work in the United States in substandard conditions, illegally under the table, in virtual debt bondage. The idea that slavery exists in the United States in the 21st century should be anathema to every American, and yet that's what's going on. The abuse is on both sides of the border. Back in 2014, then Vice President Joe Biden talked about how children being brought to the United States, being smuggled here, are regularly physically and sexually abused. Why is nobody talking about these issues today? It's important for people to understand, but nobody's talking.
And that is a huge part. This human trafficking that's going on, Tom, I got to tell you, there are tens of thousands of unaccompanied minors that have been released to we don't know who.
Exactly, and they want to call the Trump administration inhumane. Let me tell you something. Over 250,000 children have entered this country since Joe Biden became president, and the government has lost track of 40% of them. 40% of them they can't find. Under the Trump administration, we would not only vet the sponsor, we'd vet everybody in the household. This administration said, well, we can't do all this vetting because then we got overcrowding, it looks bad, then we got to admit the border's in a crisis. So they're doing very little vetting, releasing these kids to people that, mark my words, someday we're going to find out some of these children have been forced in through child porn, some are in forced labor, some are living with predators, some we'll never find. The Trump administration was humane because of this. Illegal immigration was down 83%. When 83% less people are coming in this country, how many aren't dying crossing the river? How many women aren't being sexually assaulted? How many children ain't being put at risk? How many known suspected terrorists aren't coming to the country? Since Joe Biden became president, we got 1,700 dead migrants. We got 100,000 dead Americans from fentanyl. This administration's policies are killing people. They're not humane like they claim they are.
You know what? Come legally and lawfully to this country. I think we're failing the people that are trying to do it legally and lawfully, and I feel a higher moral obligation to them. But Arthur, as you've studied this, you've looked at this, what do you think Americans are missing in this equation? If they don't look at it every day like you do, what would you say to them? What do they need to know about what the reality of what's going on at the border?
Well, the first thing that they need to know are the sheer numbers. You know, Tom alluded to it before. Last year, more than 2.2 million people were apprehended entering illegally. More than 599,000 evaded Border Patrol agents and weren't apprehended. In a recent poll, I think it was Harvard-Harris, 87% of Americans underestimated the number of migrants coming into the United States illegally. In fact, 54% of them underestimated it by half. So, you know, this is a huge problem. People also need to know about the inhumanity of the smugglers and the conditions in which those migrants live once they're in the United States. As you said before, Jason, they don't have the right to work. So they're dependent upon the state. They're dependent upon sleazy and corrupt employers to give them jobs. They work in subpar conditions. And another thing, the Biden administration has stopped worksite enforcement. Tom and I have been doing this, you know, for more than 30 years, each of us. We can tell you that if you don't go into the work sites, if you don't, you know, go after the employers who are hiring the illegal aliens, you're missing the employers who are putting people in unsafe conditions, who are, you know, cutting other employment laws. This is a real problem. This is a huge problem for the United States. It's imposing a huge cost on the states and on the municipalities.
Well, thank you both for your dedication to this problem. And you know what? This is a problem by choice. The Biden-Harris administration chose these outcomes and chose to do it this way. And it's fundamentally wrong. But thank you for joining and sharing that perspective with us tonight.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.